Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here on Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, sitting in for Paul Harvey this afternoon. Stand by for the rest of the story. Well, there was this sailor who got to Seattle to see his girlfriend. And of course, you poor sailors, they don't make much money, so you can't take a commercial flight. Those are expensive, right? Especially coming from California. So he had to take what they called a space available on the next flight up to the base that he chose, and this was a base out of Seattle, Washington. So he did. He got there. He saw his girlfriend. Now he was on his way back. And the weather is not cooperating. And of course, he's taking the next flight, and there is no seats available. Except for this one torpedo bomber. Yeah. So he tried to get on the torpedo bomber, and they said that he couldn't get in. He couldn't fit because he would have to go in the radar room of the torpedo bomber along with the pilot, and he couldn't fit in there. Well, he talked his way in, and they squished him in there. So it was him and the pilot, and they took off. Then the weather, of course, was atrocious. And when he got to Southern California, they were getting down there. It got so bad that they couldn't see because of the fog. And all of a sudden, the airplane started having mechanical problems. And the pilot didn't want to hurt anybody on the ground, so he was going to ditch a mile offshore. Okay. They didn't know if their Mayday got through or not. So pilot turns west towards the Pacific and ditches it just about a mile offshore. They finally get out of the airplane and they're sitting on the wing, but they have to get off that wing because, if that airplane sinks, it could take them with them. So they got as fast as they could off, and the swells were getting bad. They were like 3-4 feet swells, and it was nice and dark. And the pilot yelled at him to be careful with the jellyfish because they were in the area. But of course, because of the swells and the seas, the sound, and the sailor was already way beyond the pilot, so he probably didn't hear. So the pilot is there, and all of a sudden, his worst fears comes through. He felt a jolt. It was a jellyfish. Poor guy. And there was a ton of them there. So he didn't make it, poor guy. And the sailor, he already had gone, even though the poor pilot had perished due to the jellyfish. The sailor made it the mile inshore. He swam with all those undertows and currents and swells, and he made it there. He took off his shoes so he could swim better. When he got to the beach, he walked another 8 miles to the base to get there. And when he got to the base, he informed them of the situation. They sent a rescue and did find the pilot. He still had his vest on. He was still on top all through the swells, but he was gone. He was not drowned, but killed by too many jellyfish stings on there. And this sailor was courageous and tough. And all through his life, he would become tough and courageous. Because this sailor became the guy that you know as Clint Eastwood. And now you know the rest of the story. This is your favorite alien and Bubba, sitting in for Paul Harvey this afternoon. Good day.